5, please.
Big money right from the get-go in this event. Just a 16-man field, of course, the best 16 players on the one-year ranking list, so even the loser this evening collects £10,000.
$14. 19. 20. 19. 20. 19. 20. 19. 20.
Holds his hand up in apology, not as intended, but
19.
still on a red. Both Liang and O'Sullivan will be apology, not as intended, in the penultimate ranking event. Still on a red. World Championship gets underway at the Crucible next month. That's the China Open in Beijing. O'Sullivan has already played his first round match. Both Liang for the venue, whereas will be apology, not as intended, in the penultimate ranking event. Still on a red. The World Championship gets underway at the Crucible next month. That's the China Open in Beijing. O'Sullivan has already played his first round match. Awaits the winner of that match. Liang for the venue, whereas will be apology, not as intended, in the penultimate ranking event. Still on a red. The World Championship gets underway at the Crucible. Well, he spotted some terrific balls this evening to keep the break going. Position hasn't been straightforward for Liang.
32. $33.
Not getting any easier, but for the third frame running, he's building a handy lead. Didn't want the kiss on the pink, so that's end a break.
38. Liang Wenbo, 38.
So a handy 37-point lead for the Chinese. Terrific pot from O'Sullivan, played as a shot to nothing. And that's not a bad little kiss on the brown. Looking for his 29th career ranking title. That would put him on his own in second place in the all-time list behind Stephen Hendry on 36. Currently joint second with John Higgins. And he's come pretty close to moving to 29 this season. Finalist at both the UK Championship and the European Masters.
6. 11. 12. 17. 18. 23.
One of the most remarkable things about Ronnie O'Sullivan is his longevity in the game. I think that he won the first of those 28 ranking events when he was still 17 years of age, beating Stephen Hendry to lift the first of his 5 UK titles. What a terrific pot that was. Fabulous shot.
28.
And nearly a quarter of a century later, he is still competing at the very highest level and still considered to be the man to beat in most tournaments he enters. Well, just a couple of fabulous shots from O'Sullivan.
34.
The Reds looked awkward just 30 seconds ago. 1 or 2 audience members shaking their head in disbelief at the quality of this guy, and suddenly he's turned an unfavourable looking position into a frame winning one.
$42.
Perhaps he's prone to 1 or 2 more errors when he's in amongst them now than 2 or 3 years ago, but he is still just tremendously good. Does he have a 6th world title in him?
45.
Switching to left-handed.
47.
Back to right again.
50.
It's just instinctive for O'Sullivan, doesn't even have to think about it. Lead is 17, the blue is frame ball, and this has been another fabulous little clearance.
59.
Well, in all 3 frames, Liang has been in first and built a useful lead, but it looks as though he's only going to win 1 of the 3.
65 in the frame.
And aside from that misread with the rest in the second frame, O'Sullivan's snooker has been spot on this evening. as he regains the lead here in London. No, he leads his good friend Liang Wenbo by 2 frames to 1. The next frame is the last before the interval, and we'll have that for you after the break. Liang playing catch-up again. Ronnie O'Sullivan looking sharp as a tack this evening as he takes on his good friend Liang Wenbo here in the opening round of the Players' Championship, reserved for the best 16 players over the last 12 months on the one-year list. And 2 tremendous little clearances from Ronnie O'Sullivan has given him a 2-1 advantage. And the last break was far from straightforward. Played a couple of wonderful positional shots, developing the cluster of reds
frame 4. Liang Wenbo
on the top cushion, which enabled him to pop the balls necessary to win the frame. So O'Sullivan 2-1 up. This the last before the interval. Going for his 7th win in 8 attempts against Liang. Anthony Hamilton, by the way, has doubled his lead over Stuart Bingham over on table 2, so 2-0 to the underdog. That match continues on the Eurosport Player. Neither player has played a safety shot yet that has resulted in their opponent potting a ball. Yeah, good safety from Liang. Acknowledged by O'Sullivan. First protracted safety battle we've had so far. First 3 frames have come and gone pretty quickly.
Foul, finesse. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
The safety battle goes on then. Liang having missed the thin edge of the red, but not invited to play again by O'Sullivan. He backed himself to put Liang in more trouble, which he's done. take that. So O'Sullivan breaks the safety cycle. And that could spell trouble for Liang Wenbo.
8. Nine.
Pink spot
15.
covered, so highest available. Indeed, the only available is the yellow.
16.
Mentioned the upcoming China Open, the final event before the World Championship gets underway.
21.
O'Sullivan and Liang both there. There are one or two big names that won't be.
22.
Neil Robertson opted not to enter, presumably keeping his powder dry for the Crucible. And Mark Allen is the deadline for entries. Allen, of course, won this title 12 months ago, but he's not here to defend it because he hasn't accrued
29.
enough points during the past 12 months to be among the best 16.
30. $35. 36.
O'Sullivan, once again, in no time at all, races into a 40-point lead. He missed his first potting attempt of the evening, a relatively, for him,
43.
easy red. That didn't ultimately prove costly as he produced a superb clearance to pinch the opener. And he missed a red with the rest in the second frame when he looked poised to win that one as well. But those two errors aside, he has been outstanding in this little mini session.
49.
And he looks poised to go to the mid-session break with a 3-1 lead.
50.
And Anthony Hamilton is looking poised on table 2 to take a 3-0 lead over Stuart Bingham, so that's a slightly surprising scoreline, albeit that Hamilton, as we know, is playing
57.
arguably as well as he's ever done right now, having lifted his maiden ranking title. A lot of work for Bingham to do, though, if Hamilton goes 3-0 up.
58.
Well, Liang has had chances in this session to at least share it. Should have won the first frame, really.
65.
But it's looking as though he's going to be 2 adrift. And the first frame after the mid-session interval will become absolutely vital for him as O'Sullivan passes the winning line, barring Snookers.
$73.
And this really has been top draw stuff
74.
from the Rocket. He's certainly due another ranking title. It's over a year now since his last.
$81. $82.
Closing in on century number 864 for his career, miles ahead of everyone else.
89.
It will be his 40th of the season, which is 10 more than he made in the whole of last season. He has been a lot more active during this campaign than he was in the early stages of last one.
97. 98.
Stand by for the cheer. Well,
106.
Ronnie O'Sullivan in full flow is one of the great treats that you can enjoy as a snooker fan. Nobody does it quite like him.
130.
Made 2 outstanding clearances to win the other 2 frames this evening.
115.
The second in particular, in frame 3, was quite outstanding. A couple of superb positional shots. He's never been in trouble in this frame.
180. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 118.
Doesn't clear the table, but that was a superb break of 118 from Ronnie O'Sullivan. He really has looked very sharp this evening. Liang has had 1 or 2 chances that he's not taken, and he's been punished for his failure to do so. And at the mid-session interval, O'Sullivan firmly in charge here in London. No, he leads Liang Wenbo by 3 frames to 1. When they resume, he'll need just 2 more for victory. The Eurosport player right now. Excellent crowd in here to see the cream of the crop, the very best 16 players over the past 12 months, of course, contesting a lot of prize money, £125,000 for the winner and £10,000 for tonight's loser, so big money at stake and lots of ranking points as well.
Thank you, frame 5. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Up very quickly from his shot there. He caught it way too thick. Liang's long potting hasn't quite been as he would like it so far this evening. And the rocket is back in. Cueing exceptionally well. Now in his 42nd year, O'Sullivan, and it's been very noticeable in the last season or two that he gives every match he plays absolutely everything. He hasn't won all of them, but it's not been for want of trying. Even when he's been frustrated with his game, he's not allowed that frustration to affect the effort that he's put in. I think realising that he's coming towards the twilight of his career at 41, although given how physically fit he is, who knows how long he could stay at the top. I think it'll all come down to how much he wants it.
7.
He has made noises about playing until he's 50, which would be great news for the game because he continues to drive its popularity. He is a one-off.
15. 16. 21. 22.
'Looking to spread the reds asunder, but not to be.
27.
So just the safety.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 27.
So O'Sullivan's turn to get him first. He's been behind in the other 3 frames, or 4 frames I should say. Yes, bar the century that he made, O'Sullivan was playing catch-up in the other 3 frames before the interval, beating Judd Trump in the final. So we're all set for a cracking best-of-9 frame encounter, the first of 5 to go through.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First frame, Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Ronnie O'Sullivan and his good friend Liang Wenbo, all smiles at the handshake. It's O'Sullivan to get us underway. The first of 5 frames to go through to the quarterfinals, and a meeting with either Judd Trump or Mark King. Over on table 2, Stuart Bingham against Anthony Hamilton. That's a match you can follow on the Eurosport Player. O'Sullivan has come mighty close to adding more silverware to his Masters title this season. Runner-up at the European Masters to Trump, the Champion of Champions to Higgins, and the UK Championship to Selby. His last ranking title was last year's Welsh Open, when he played arguably the best sustained snooker he's ever produced.
One.
But he lost early this year from 3-0 up against Mark Davis as Liang pots the first red of the evening.
Liang Wenbo, 1.
Well, the Chinese can ill afford errors like that this evening. Fairly routine blue. He's won just once against O'Sullivan. That was the 2013 International Championship. O'Sullivan having won the other 6. Wow. A major surprise.
One.
So, a second opportunity immediately for Liang. Chance to atone for the missed blue.
Six. Seven. Fourteen.
Terrific pop.
$22.
Could have been a really damaging defeat for Liang, the loss to O'Sullivan at the Masters, because it was a relatively straightforward match black that he had, that he jawed into the corner pocket. But he hit back with a good run at the World Grand Prix. Made it all the way to the semi-finals, where he was completely outplayed by a fantastic performance from the eventual champion Barry Hawkins. So he was able to get that miss out of his system pretty quickly.
$30.
Looking at the possible plant, I don't think it's dead set. But in it goes. Red's nicely spread now. So one good positional shot from his next colour, and this is a great chance to win the opening frame.
$36. $37.
Liang's victory in his maiden ranking title success in Manchester at the English Open enabled him to become a member of the top 16 for the first time, which of course was the reason he was playing in the Masters
44.
against O'Sullivan, who missed that pretty straightforward red. This is the result.
$45.
Currently ranked at 13, Liang. Actually one spot ahead of O'Sullivan, who, as we know, picks and chooses his events these days.
52.
He's played a lot more snooker this season than he did last in the first half. Oh dear.
Wenbo, 52.
Well, a break of 52, but not decisive. You'll be disappointed with that one. And how often has O'Sullivan cleared up in situations like this in the past?
1. $8. 9.
Wondering how damaging that misread with the rest will prove to be.
$16. 17. $24. 25. $32. 33. $38. 39.
Never in doubt. He's played that beautifully. Well, the pink is
46.
up at the balk end, but that aside, nothing difficult.
47. 52.
He only needs
54.
up to and including the pink.
$57. 61.
So this is the key shot coming up. Blue to pink. Check side on the cue ball.
66.
And he couldn't have played that much better. Only needs the pink for a terrific frame stealing clearance. In it goes. Well, what a tremendous break that was from Ronnie O'Sullivan. Vintage rocket. After Liang Wenbo had looked set to take the opening frame, he missed a pretty straightforward rest. Red with the rest. And he has been punished to the full. O'Sullivan clearing to the pink to take out opening frame. He needs 4 more for a place in the quarterfinals.